Hey, what's up, Israel? I'm back and have another video coming for you. I guess you could say it's a 2 for 2. My other video got taken down from YouTube, but not letting that get to me. But however, I'm gonna do something a little different today. It is a topic that has been on my mind for a while now, and it's a serious topic that we need to discuss about. And it's called Hollywood Occultists. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is that I want to talk about the satanic things that's going on in Hollywood and how they are pushing a satanic message out to the public, and the things that these individuals who are your AKA your celebrities, your talk heads, your what do they call it? Your speakers, your politicians, like all these people did you see out in the public who has this high, stature in the public view? A lot of them are part of the occult. Now, most of us accept that. Most of us already know that. But what we're going to do, I want to go in the Bible today, and I want to talk about, certain things, and about the scriptures, show you, get you much mentally, spiritually prepared for the things that are coming and the things that people do just to make it ahead in a society like this. Now, I'm using a new program, OBS Studio. I think I used it on that other, that Black Woman video, but I didn't fully get the grasp on how to properly use it. So I'm used to recording and seeing myself at the same time. So it's going to be a lot more different. So be patient with me if, I'm doing things a little different or out of the usual. It's because I can't visually see myself. Okay? So now I want to go into scriptures right now. The video that you're seeing right here, before I even play this video, this is about the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Now everybody knows. If you don't know who Ric Flair is, you've been sleeping under a rock for at least 1,000 years or so. He's a very popular, legendary professional wrestler, right? He's very popular now in the hip hop scene, and this guy is one of the most charismatic dudes that most people know. Everyone knows. You have to be crazy to don't know who Ric Flair is. Okay, you have to be crazy. All right, but to be on a serious topic, I want to, this the reason why I chose this video is because his was a little bit more obvious on the things that he had to do to get to where he is today. Now we all know in a greater society, to fully make it, to get to to enjoy the fruits of, completely enjoy all the benefits, all the wealth, all the fame, you will have to make an oath. Now, y'all remember when Ezra, in the book of, I believe, 2nd Ezra is the 3rd or 4th chapter, where Ezra had to make an oath with the Father, right? For, because of the nation of Israel and how Israel was falling into sin, right? Just as how the things that is going on in this world, that's going on with the Father's realm and his righteousness, Satan will always copy it in his own ways. So so the Father has a chosen people, right? Satan will have the chosen people to do his bidding. See, Satan copies everything the Father does, but he twists it and plays technology on the human mind to get people to follow his ways. So what I want to do, I'm going to read a couple of scriptures, watch the video, and I'm going to break down the video for you guys. And I want y'all to see the things that's a lot of these famous celebrities and the things that they're doing and what they have to do to get to where they at. Alright? So now I'm going to go into the scriptures real quick. Alright? Let's go to Mark, the 8th chapter. Now we all know the infamous Mark, the 8th chapter. We all know that scripture in Mark, the 8th chapter. Well, we're going to go real deep in tonight. Alright? We're going to go real deep tonight. And we're going to really, really get the meat of the topic tonight. So I want you to go to Mark, the 8th chapter. And I want you to go to verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So the scripture says, what shall it profit you as a human being to give up everything, to try and get so much money, right? The guy to get so much money and enjoy all this wealth that you have, but in the same breath, you sell yourself. We all know there's certain celebrities that we all grew up in, we lived vigorously through. Guys like Tupac Shakur, guys like Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., guys like, even Farrakhan, guys like Malcolm X, like a lot of these members, a lot of these talk heads, a lot of these revolutionaries, a lot of these men are part of the agenda. They're part of it. A lot of them are. This is where you have to accept that. A lot of these men and a lot of these women are all part of the satanic occult. Now, when you think of the word occult is a type of practice of people who practice dark magic, which is witchcraft, sorcery. They start their little cults and they do those things, right? And do rituals. They do pacts. It's like it's another way of saying a congregation, if you will. That's what the occult is. It's a dark satanic power of people who come together to practice Satanism, to spread Satanism. And you're seeing it today with the philosophy and the whole new religion called the New Age movement. The New Age movement really is supposed to downgrade the human intellect, downgrade, get rid of all belief in a higher power, downgrade morals, downgrade ethics, into following whatever man tells us to do. That's what it is. That's the direction in the world that we're going into. And it all being led by secret societies, secret occult societies, to push a satanic message. And certain individuals who are part of these secret occults, right? They're a little bit more sneakier in the things that they do, or they kind of give you ideas on what some of the things they had to do to get to where they are, right? Now remember what the Bible says, right? I believe Job, the 12th chapter and verse, somebody help me, I think 21 or 22, I think. Well, it says that things that are coming in the dark shall come into the light, right? So things that's happening in secrecy shall come into the light, and that is how a lot of us know the information that we are known today. We are in what you call the information age, and internet has exploded. People knows just about a lot of things that's being spread around, and a lot of people are starting to get hip and paying attention to the things that are going on, but vast majority of people are still vastly asleep. Let's go here real quick. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah, the 60th chapter, verse 2. All right. Here's Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. The Bible says that the Lord's glory shall be seen upon him. And how will he do it? Through the internet. He shows you his glory. He shows you the things that he is doing on individuals to help spread his message, to help spread his righteous works. See, why do you think there's a huge push? There's a huge number of blacks, Negroes, all scattered across the world who are now accepting and getting the true knowledge that they are now the Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. Why do you think that's going on? How do you know that a lot of black folks are waking up? How do you know that? Just go on YouTube. It's gotten so common that you can go in any YouTube video, any topic, and you read the comment section. You're bound to see one Negro with that, with their usernames that says Israel in it. It has gotten so glorious, through the Father's righteous Holy Spirit, that people, Negroes, it's coming. It's coming. That growing army that Ezekiel 37 was showing is coming. And so what this great society are trying to do, they're trying to double down on their manipulative ways and to continuously push a satanic message onto our people. A huge chunk of our people are never going to see the true light of the Most High. They're not going to see it. It's not for them. That's why he said, many are called, but few are chosen. Not too many of us will ever fully get the knowledge of the Most High. They will never ever get the truth. That I believe that says that in the New Testament, where some of us won't be able to find the truth. Let me see if I can get that. I think in 2 Thessalonians real quick. Let me go over there real quick. Let me see if I can go there. Let me see. Let me see 2 Thessalonians. Wait 1 second, folks. I'm just trying to see. Here we go. Yeah, 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 9. Here's 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. There's plenty of people, in the modern day world, out into the world, who just cannot fathom that there is a darker power who's pushing satanic. They can't fathom it. So you know what they always say? Oh, it's just a conspiracy. You conspiracy theories are always out of control. These conspiracy theories are going too far. Like, these people are just so delusional. They are becoming so blind. They're so blind to the obvious things that is going on right in front of their faces. Do they not pay attention to the obvious signs of a new Sodom and Gomorrah that's coming? Do they not pay attention of potentially pedophilia is going to start being accepted in the United States of America? Do they not see this? Do they not see the growing number of technology that's kind of being pushed onto the public? Now you have the RFID chip that's slowly being pushed on thousands of people who has already took it. So then when they fully start to implement that into the public, when they start to really fully make that available to the public, and then people start really taking that thing, and they start to realize that by the time they took it in, all it takes is some people in a darker, in a greater society to switch on the button, and it completely erases all your memories. You don't think they can't do that? Why do you think a lot of these celebrities, like Kanye West, remember with that concert? Kanye West had that concert, and he just randomly just went off tangent. A lot of these people are chipped, man. A lot of these celebrities are chipped also. So then when they saying something, when they talking, they sound like, okay, they're following the protocol, but then somehow, some way, a weird thing happens to where a chip may have gone off or short circuited, and then they start to go off, a real weird, crazy tangent. Why do you think Chris Brown constantly posts on his Instagrams or Twitters and all that, talking about trying to leave this greater society, trying to leave the satanic agenda that his mother has sold him into? Why do you think he's always been vocal about that? And every time he's been vocal about that, kicking a month later, this dude dropping a new song, again pushing a satanic message. Why? Because they have to make sure he stays in control. That's why we read Revelations, the 13th chapter, about the 3 manifestations of the mark of the beast. I do believe that RFID could be one of the manifestations, because that's where you're going to implement it on your right hand. And it's going to be forcibly pushed onto the people. And you have to use common sense. Why would a human being put technology in their own bodies? But I digress. We're going to watch the video, and I'm going to break it down, right? And I'm going to show y'all, some things that Ric Flair talks about, for his 30 for 30. I don't think y'all remember that. The new ESPN, ESPN block where they premiere certain celebrities, right, as they're being initiated into, the Illuminati or the secret societies. So this is Ric Flair's turn. All right. 1, 2, 3.
The one and only Ric Flair is with us on Mike and Mike, the legend. Gordon Soley interviewing you, and you would get up there and you would start with the whole thing, which has now become iconic, which we've been showing all morning long, and it'll be all over the 30 for 30 tonight, how imitated it has been, how inspirational it was. Where did it come from? Where did the whole limousine riding, jet flying, where did all of that start?
Mike, I'm going to tell you the truth. People have a hard time believing this. It started in Buckhead probably about 3 a.m. on Friday night before. I just started thinking, because we'd wrestle in Atlanta on Friday nights, or we'd fly in on a private jet or something, and the 80s, Atlanta and Buckhead were just the place to be. And we went out all night. I mean, I wish I could tell you differently, but when we got to the studio at 9 o'clock over on Techwood with Turner, and it was Dusty, me, the Four Horsemen, Magnum, Nikita, the World Warriors. I mean, it was...
All right, so I'm going to rewind it, and I don't know if you guys caught what he just said. I want y'all to pay attention to what Ric Flair just said. All right, I'm going to rewind it. I want y'all to pay clean now. This is where this is where you have to open your spiritual eye. That's what Christ talked about. Matthew the 6th chapter, verse 23. He said it. He said, that the seed of your eye is your soul. So you have to open your third eye, folks. Listen to what he is saying. Usually, let the Father guide you and really listen. This is one of the gifts that the Father has blessed us as a nation of Israel. He blesses us with wisdom and insight and hearing and wisdom. Really fully listen to what he is saying.
We'd fly in on a private jet or something, and the 80s, Atlanta and Buckhead were just the place to be. And we went out all night. I mean, I wish I could tell you differently, but when we got to the studio at 9 o'clock over on Techwood with Turner, and it was Dusty, me, the Four Horsemen, Magnum. They were just the place to be. And we went out all night. I mean, I wish I could tell you differently, but...
Hold on. Let me go back a little bit more. I want y'all to fully pay attention to what he's
fly in on a private jet or something, and...
hold on.
It started in Buckhead probably about 3 a.m. on Friday night before.
Did y'all hear what he just said? He said the whole Ric Flair persona started on Friday night at 3 a.m. in Buckhead, Florida. Let's do it again.
Started in Buckhead probably about 3 a.m. on Friday night before.
He said on Friday night, on Friday night at 3 a.m., that the Ric Flair persona has officially started, right? Rewind that one again. I know you have to understand, guys. Even though you may get irritated me constantly repeating myself, the best form is always repetition. All right? Repetition is a very, very great art. I'm rewinding it so y'all can pay attention. Because a lot of Negroes have very, very low attention spans. So repetition will have to be ingrained in y'all. All right?
3 a.m. on Friday night before. I just started thinking, because we'd wrestle in Atlanta on Friday nights, or we'd fly.
So he said at 3 a.m. Friday night is when the Ric Flair persona started. Now, if you know anything about the occult, according to the occult, where they practice numerology, right? 3 a.m. is considered the devil's time. All right? And he said started the whole jet flying, kiss stealing, limousine riding, son of a gun. The whole Ric Flair, persona that he, talked about when Mike asked him. Now, here's the thing about these. Here's the thing about this. As you rewind it a little bit more, it says 30 for 30. Dropped it. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. 33. Most people don't pay attention to that. Yeah, remember, it's 32 steps in life that Freemasons practice. 30 is the highest degree that one can reach. These are the same things that happened to Nipsey Hussle. Now, I'm not into the whole numerology thing. It's witchcraft. But I'm showing you the things that what they practice and how they go out and do these their rituals. Nipsey Hussle was just a ritual that happened. There's a possibility he could still be alive. Possibility, but Nipsey Hussle, the character, may be dead. Okay? It's the same thing as Tupac Shakur. Tupac, the character, may be dead, but Tupac Shakur could be alive. It's an open ritual to get people fascinated, to get people so ingrained into another human being's life. You know what that ended up becoming? Infatuation. You know what infatuation ends up becoming? Worship. Do you see how that correlates? Look. Just all you have to do, if you think I'm lying, go to around a group of women, regardless, any race of women in the United States of America. If you talk bad about Beyonce, look how offended they get. Look how offended they get. Worship. At first, it starts from infatuation. From infatuation, it comes into worship. A lot of people worship these celebrities and these talk heads. Now, to get back on what Ric Flair was saying, he said Friday night at 3 a.m. is when the persona fully started. The whole jet flying and all that. Do y'all know Ric Flair has a son? Most people don't even know that. Ric Flair has a son, folks. Let's look it up. Ric Flair actually has a son. I'm going to show y'all something. Hold on. Now, Ric Flair's son says he died from an overdose of heroin, which was mixed with other prescription drugs. He was found dead in his hotel room. Multiple drugs were found in his system during the autopsy. Reed Flair, the 25-year-old son of wrestler Ric Flair, has been ruled dead of a drug. You know, in a greater society, they always paint that these people have died from drug overdose, which is highly not possible. No. A lot of these people are not. That's the easy cop out. Now I'm going to show y'all something very interesting. It said he died on April 3rd. He was buried April 3rd, 2013, right? He was born February 26th in 1988. And he died on March 29th, 2013. South Park, Centralina, Manus Garras, North Carolina. Where is Ric Flair from? Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, he was born here and he died in North Carolina. Put the pieces together, folks. I want y'all to continually listen to this video. This year is very important. Pay attention to this year. All right? This is what the occult do. This is what they practice all the time. Now listen to Flair.
We'd fly in on a private jet or something, and the 80s, Atlanta and Buckhead were just the place to be.
What did he just say? What did Flair just say? Listen to him.
Jet or something, and the 80s, Atlanta and Buckhead were just the place to be.
The 80s and Buckhead were the place to be. His son was born in 1988 in North Carolina. And what did he originally said in the beginning of this video? What did he say about the Ric Flair persona? It all started on a Friday night at 3 a.m. His son was born in 1988. His son died on April 3rd, 2013. Look up that date, folks. If you look up that date, right? If you look up March 3rd, hold on. If you look up March 29, 2013, it falls on a Friday. Look it up. March 29, 2013, if you look it up right now, fell on a Friday. And not only that, what time did Ric Flair's son die? Well, what time do you think they ruled his death? Hold on, folks. Be patient with me. But I'm going to go to Wikipedia. Let me see if I can find it. On March 29, 2013, blah, 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 blah. He was 25 years old. June 14, 2013. Drug overdose, tranquilizer contributed to his death. That is not really helping me, folks. But if you do even more research, I can't find it right now. But I did. His time of death was around 3:20 a.m. This man was sacrificed by his own father. It's pretty obvious that he was sacrificed. This boy right here was sacrificed by his own father. This is Ric Flair's son. 9 times out of 10, he was sacrificed. Over there, this is Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair. She is also a Freemason too, and potentially could be a man. How do you suspect this man? I mean, look at the this boy, and then look at her. Look completely the same. Could be potentially be Reed the whole time, but not 100% concrete. Obviously, that's a man. But let's go on. Listen to the interview.
To the studio at 9 o'clock over on Techwood with Turner, and you know, it was Dusty, me, the Four Horsemen, Magnum, Nikita, the World Warriors. I mean, it was a cast of incredible talent, and we just went out and put a product out, and I was just thinking on my feet. I guess it's the gift that God gave me, and you know, I was really inspired by Dusty Rhodes, who is probably the most charismatic wrestler of our time. He may be the most charismatic of all time, and a very intelligent guy, but we just had fun. And if you're not having fun, and I'm sure you guys realize that, if you didn't like what you were doing, you wouldn't be as successful as you are.
I grew up watching you when you were with the NWA. I mean, Magnum TA, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. My favorite.
You know what's funny? They have to make sure they throw Stephen A. Smith into this, and a Jewish man by the name of Max Kellerman. Stephen A. Smith is part of the Phi Sigma Phi Greek fraternity out in, I think, what was it, LSU? I think he went to that school. Somebody can correct me also on that. Or in Mississippi. It was one of those southern states, those southern black fraternities that he was joining. This dude also is part of the Freemasonic order too. Why do you think they signed him to that huge major contract? Why do you think Stephen A. Smith is a high-speaking talking head? And then on the side of him, they have a liberal Jewish man in the name of Max Kellerman. So altogether, all these guys perfectly know each other. That's why Stephen A. always seemed to know somebody, you know, personally. If you watch First Take long enough, you will know this guy for some reason know everybody. You know why? Because Freemasons are like a brotherhood to them. Just like how in the nation of Israel, we have a brotherhood. When we read Hebrews 13:1, y'all remember what that says? One of the most lovely scriptures has been written. Let brotherly love continue, right? That's what they do in the Satanic order. It's a brotherhood to them. They always have each other's back, irregardless of morals. However, with the nation of Israel, even if we love our brothers, but if they start to go completely off and away from the Father, we were supposed to depart. See, there's difference between morality with them and the morality with Israel. We will separate from those who consistently do wicked deeds. While in a greater society, irregardless if you do any satanic deed, you are still accepted if and only if you don't break your code, which is what? The covenant of secrecy. Covenant secrecy dictates, if you look it up, the covenant of secrecy dictates that if any member of the Freemasonic family shall not reveal the secrets of another member. That's how members like Joan Rivers died, Bobby Christina died. Who was another one? It was mostly those two ones. Those two. Bobby Christina died after revealing Angela Bassett was a man, all over Twitter, because she wanted to play the role of Whitney Houston on that movie. I think it was that movie called Whitney Houston. But instead, the greater society decided to run with Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is an open witch. You see her in all these films that she always participates in. She always plays the role of a witch. She played in that what is that show called? American Horror Story. Also, she is an open witch. However, Barbara Christina came out with the information and flooded the internet that Angela Bassett was a man. Don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. These are not just conspiracy, folks. These is happening right in front of your eyes. The only thing is, again, let's read 2 Thessalonians 2:12, 2:11. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. A lot of people won't accept the truth for what it really is. They don't want to accept the satanic New World Order that we're living in. They can't accept it. They don't want to accept it. But this is the times where we're living in. And you have members like this who are open to what their family ties are. They're open about the ties they're in. You know? This is the occult, folks. This is what they do. But they're very sneaky. They give you subtle messages throughout the media. Why do you think now, if you go back as a kid, when you was watching all those Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes shows, you was watching all these SpongeBobs, you was watching all these Fairly Odd Parents, they give you all these satanic little messages because they start from a young age. It's easier to prey on the younger audience because the younger audience are a lot more naive compared to grown adults. And this is what they've been doing for a very long time after 1945, when the Jewish people went into the land of Israel. All right, let's keep listening.
Favorite tag team of all time, the Road Warriors, and I love the villain that the Four Horsemen were with you and Arn Anderson and the crew. Who was your favorite? I mean, when you think about walking into the arena, the glitz, the glamour, all that stuff that came with it, who was your favorite opponent, your most exciting opponent that you ever went against?
Good question.
Well, you'll love this answer because I'm sure you saw him with me. Back then it was Dusty Rhodes. The most charismatic guy in the history of our business. The dream was something else. And, we drew money wrestling each other for 20 years. He oozed of charisma. He was smart. He was really good at choreographing and booking matches. He came up with a flair for the gold. He came up with Starrcade. He came up with the Great American Bash. Those are all themes that he came up with. And, that Great American Bash, we leave for 46 days and, go from one side of the country to the other. And, of course, the last week we just park ourselves in Vegas and fly the private jet to Seattle back to Vegas, Portland back to Vegas, Albuquerque back to Vegas, LA back to Vegas, Frisco back to Vegas. So you can imagine how we felt flying home to stop in Kansas City to catch one more show.
You can talk about it in the film, but how did his death...
You know what's interesting about all that? Ric Flair said his favorite opponent was Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes is another famous professional wrestler. And this guy, Dusty Rhodes, actually, he played the role of a transgender. If you watch wrestling, and go back and watch it, he played the role of a transgender man. If you watch how he carried himself, the way he talked, he played the role of a transgender man. He did a lot of things that was highly questionable for what a heterosexual man should do. Now, the time of the death that Dusty Rhodes died on June 11, 2015, right? That's the year he died. Hold up. Give me 1 second. June 11, 2015. He died on a Thursday on June 11, 2015. But again, Ric Flair purposely chose a man in this interviews that he is having with the general public. He's openly telling you He's openly telling you his favorite opponent was a man who had homosexual, who was practicing some type of homosexual, you know, how can I describe it? Persona. There you go. That's why you think Dusty Rhodes' son Goldust is like that. Like father, like son, right? He got it from his father. It's to practice. It's to give off that nasty, disgusting, effeminate energy to the public. That's why the Bible says to the nation of Israel, Deuteronomy 23:17, there shall be no horror among the nation about the daughters of Zion, nor a sodomite among the sons of Israel. But not only that, but these laws is for all human, all flesh, all souls. The Bible says, all souls belong to me, thus saith the Lord, right? But you have these people out in the who's pushing again their satanic message. And Ric Flair conveniently said that his favorite opponent was Dusty Rhodes. If you don't know, to make it into the occult, there's two things that you will have to do to make your bargain agreement. Because they can't just give you the money. You have to make their agreement. You either A, commit a blood sacrifice, again, which Ric Flair is about to talk about his own son, as you can see it from the video. B, a homosexual ritual. And it's kind of funny that he put a homosexual like Dusty Rhodes into this same video that's heavily intertwined with the occult. Y'all gotta connect the dots, folks. You have to connect the dots on the things that a lot of these members of the Satanic New World Order practice. Alright? And not only that, another part 3, some of them have to be brutally tortured. We talking brutally raped. I believe that woman, Taylor Swift, came out and said that she was brutally raped. She said it. I believe it was either Taylor Swift or Katy Perry. One of those two came out and said it. Just to get to where she is today. It's one of the rituals she openly accepted. Alright? And that's why a lot of these celebrities like Young Thug, Soulja Boy, some celebrities, why do you think they always wear their sunglasses? Because if you're supposed to look at another human being in the eye, they look spiritually dead. They're dead inside for what they had to do to get to what they are today. And that's why a lot of them won out. And it's too late. Once you write that dotted pen, once you write that paper, you sign that paper, which is a spiritual manifestation as a contract, like the Father written a contract, a spiritual contract with us, the nation of Israel, right? It's the same thing with them. Once you have committed a blood sacrifice or go through a satanic ritual, you have officially sold your soul to the devil. Period. And that is why Ric Flair's best friend, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, openly said on a live taping of a WWE show, he literally openly said it out of his own mouth, I sold my soul a long time ago. Don't believe me, you can look it up for yourself. But anyway, let's continue listening.
Change your life.
Well, I'm not sure I've accepted it yet, but it just made my life. The thing that nobody understands is that we say like he died on my watch. In other words, he's with me, and
Technically, you kind of did. You ordered the hit.
We were watching the NCAA tournament. I can remember like it was yesterday. He wasn't drinking anything. He went back to his room, and I went back, which is all discussed in the documentary tonight. And of course, I've seen him 1,000 times. He was messed up, but I've seen him like that. And I had do I call the police again? This would be the 8th or 9th time they've been over, or 911. I mean, when ambulance comes, so come the police. So I said, no, I'm just going to tuck him in bed and wake up in the morning and try and figure out what went wrong again, which I've done, which I had been doing for 5 years. And so I woke up and he was purple, which I've seen before. And we called the hospital, called 911, and they came, and they always ask you to leave the room for a minute. And
if you paid attention, he kind of double talked. See, one thing the greater society teach their members is how to stretch out their words, is to stretch out their words to manipulate the public. You can feel it. You can feel him trying to manipulate the public into, feeling sad for the things that happened to his son, which you honestly should. The guy was murdered. He was sacrificed, folks. He was. He was. Ric Flair just double talked. According to the autopsy, he died from an overdose of a variety of ways. But according to what he is telling you, that night, according to what he's telling you, that night he was pretty clean. But next thing you know, he started turning purple and all these other things, and then he pronounced dead. Again, let's go back and hear what he just said. This is how they train their members. They train their members really well. They train them very well.
Morning and, try and figure out what went wrong again, which I've done, which I had been doing for 5 years. And I woke up and he was purple, which I've seen before. And we called the hospital, called 911, and they came, and they always ask you to leave the room for a minute. And I went out in the hall, just assuming they'd come out and say, either we have to helicopter him, which we've done before, to a bigger facility, or we need to take him in an ambulance for sure. And he came out and said he didn't make it, Rick. That was tough.
Wait. So do you pay attention to what he's doing? He's manipulating on the public mind. He just literally brought in a helicopter, and then he brought in an ambulance. Listen, we all know, okay, yes, there's ambulances that are helicopters. But how rare is it for anyone, any sane individual, to call a helicopter to be escorting someone to a hospital, to a bigger facility? You see how he plays the double? See how he does it? Do you see how he do it? What did Psalms 58, the 58th chapter said, folks? What did it say? Let's go there. Let's go to Psalms 58. Let's go to Psalms 58. Here's Psalms 58:2. Yeah, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the balance of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. They go estranged as soon as they are born, speaking lies. He's lying. It's obviously he's lying. He's double talking himself. What they call that, actually call that word salad. It's where they throw multiple words together to confuse the masses. Those with real spiritual intellect, because they know, the greater society knows how dumb the public has become. The United States of America is convenient, which is so weird. The most powerful country that exists on the planet right now, the United States of America. Yet, the most powerful country in the world, for some odd reason, is listed 127, ranked 127 out of 199 countries in literacy. We are. America is one of the most dumbest groups of individuals on earth, according to that statistic. That means the average American cannot read or comprehend on a 5th grade or 6th grade level. And the greater society have done a great job in dumbing down the public. That is why you see so many people having these fake outcries and arguing over some of the most irrelevant things known to man, or things that are common sense that will argue against it. This is the idiocracy that we are living in today, folks. If you watch that movie, those who have seen those, most people who I privately spoke to, I told you to go watch Idiocracy and get the spiritual insight that you see, you receive from it. You will see that the real times that we are living in. The purposeful dumbing down of the public. And so because they know how dumb the public is, Ric Flair can boldly get on national TV and double talk. He can boldly do this without no consequence. Like, he knows the people are dumb. They're not going to pick up on that. They're going to be told, they'll be too emotional because they're so strung on, how he became successful as a wrestler. And then after the death of his son, Ric Flair's popularity skyrocketed into where, well, he was already popular, but it skyrocketed even more to the point where hip hop, where he has really elevated the ways of hip hop music. You know? Remember that song, Ric Flair Drip? Y'all remember that song, right? I think y'all guys remember that song, Ric Flair Drip, by Migos. I want to show you a picture of the things that was happening in that music video. Because I don't want to play the video and make my stuff flagged down from YouTube. Alright? Look at this. Look at that. Got the devil horns. You got the upside down cross. Right? These are the stuff that was going on in this music video. This is after, and it's for coincidence. This music song took place 2 years after the death of his son, and in this same year, this is the same year that Dusty Rhodes died. His colleague, his best friend, the guy he loved to wrestle against. Right? Look at the stuff we're wearing. This is what he wore. This is what he wore. Y'all seen this robe before, right? In those satanic Hollywood films, you've seen these robes before. The red color, which represents death, blood. You see that? You see the little Ric Flair. He had a little necklace around his neck, and I believe a little Baphomet medal. And then you got the Wicked Negro offset near him. Yeah, because those who watch wrestling know Ric Flair doesn't wear this. His stuff never looked like this. Those who watched it know he doesn't wear stuff. His stuff was more leaning towards this. This is stuff he normally wore. This, he never wore it. This is where secret society, occult members wear. This is what they wear when they do their blood sacrifices. See? There he is in the same song. They go to Devil's Horns. They go to there goes the Satanic. They go to the wardrobe they wear when they do their rituals. See, look. You see the difference in costumes that he wears? This is Ric Flair from back then, and this is him now. It's a complete difference in wardrobe. Complete difference. This is the stuff that's going on in Hollywood, folks. It's right in front of your eyes. You just got to be able to just see it. You know? Here it is in the music video. You see how they're doing the all-seeing eye? See that? The all-seeing eye, Flair. I believe this is somebody can correct me wrong. I don't keep up with hip hop. I think this is Offset, and I think this is 21 Cent. Somebody please help me with that. I think that's Metro. Somebody help me with that. I don't know. You see the all-seeing eye. You see the devil's horns. You know, they speak privately with their fingers and with a winking eye. That's what Proverbs, the 6th chapter, verse 13, we're talking about. See the all-seeing eye, all-seeing eye, the all-seeing eye. Oh, yeah. This stuff is open, folks. This is right in front of your eyes. These people don't do this for a reason. They don't just randomly just throwing up hand signs and, just to be cool. No, they're doing this for a reason. It's the same symbol that you see on the front cover of the Dynasty album by Jay-Z, where he's throwing up the all-seeing eye. This is the same thing. It's right in front of your eyes. You have to be able to accept it. But most people ain't going to accept it because they've been put on a strong delusion by the Most High. Alright? Hold up. Click the wrong thing. See if I can try and finish off this video.
He didn't make it Rick. We're all on a first name basis by this time because we've been there before, but into this day, at least, after being on life support, which he was 4 different times, I don't know how he could ever go back to it, but it's more powerful than I could ever be able to figure it out. So, and every place that I sent him to, every facility, they would say to me, you need to let them bottom out. You know, you need to just shut the door, lock it, let them bottom out. But I just couldn't fathom finding them somewhere in an alley.
Again, one thing I gave it to him. This is grade A acting right there. Ric Flair has always been good in acting. That's why he's considered one of the greatest of all time. But look at the pure acting to try and play on the people's emotions. Again, he knows. Listen, Greater Society knows there'll be certain individuals who will be able to break down whatever the things they're doing. They know it. They know it. But they know majority of people ain't going to see it for what it really is. A hoax. These are the same thing that's happened to Trayvon Martin, the poor kid. Trayvon Martin, his own father, sacrificed his own son. And what they did, and the reason why they used that in a years in a weird times when it happened. The reason why all those police shootings was started from the Trayvon Martin case. And it was doing all those cases. It was killing all those black men, all those black boys. Why? To incite racial violence. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to incite racial violence. They create these false hoax, movements, and all these false hoax events to try to stir the racial pot. But you have to understand, who is orchestrating all of this? The Most High. This is all his bidding. He's putting his spirit on the men of the world and confining the men in the world to do this. Why? What did Christ say in the book of Revelation? Do y'all remember what he said? Or what was said of him? Let's go to Revelation 19. Let's go to Revelation 19. Let's see here. 19 and 10. Here is Revelation, the 19th chapter, and verse 10. And now listen to this. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. Now you see how Christ is literally telling John that do not worship me. Don't worship me, but follow the words that I have telling you to reconcile you back into the Holy Father. So all those Torah Israelites who used to troll my videos, trying to say, oh, brother, y'all still believe in our Christ, that false Christ you worship. Christ literally is showing you, telling John, do not fall on your knees to worship me. He's done that numerous times, and not to worship him, but to worship the one who has sent him. Christ was just a messenger and a prophet to reconcile Israel back into the fold. But all these Torah Israelites, they're not going to see that, again, because they're under a strong delusion. They're on a strong delusion to believe a lie. So you let them be. They're not going to see it for what it truly is. Right? I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. These are prophecies that the Father is trying to fulfill. These are the prophecies that he's trying to fulfill. And what were the main prophecies that he said that must come to pass? Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew to 24th chapter. Matthew 24. Alright? Alright, let's go to Matthew 24 and 7. Here's Matthew 24 and 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. What are the main wars he's saying? The war of possible Iran and China going to fight the European powers, including the United States of America. Incites of a race war possibly going to break out. It's going to happen, folks. It's going. Best believe it's going to happen. It's prophesied. It's right here. I'm gonna keep reading. See that ye be not troubled. Christ is telling you, be ye not troubled of the times of rumors of war. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. He says, be ye not troubled. Don't be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But the end is not yet. The end hasn't come. There will be times where we're going to hear racial violence. We're going to hear racial turmoil. We're going to hear white supremacist groups going to rise up and start threatening black folks. You're going to hear that. But Christ is telling you, be ye not troubled. Don't be scared. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes, in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So right there, all these things will start to beginning of sorrows. We're going to start, which is what? Jacob's troubles. All these things are going to happen before Jacob's trouble starts to kick in. So what the Illuminati has been doing, they're only following the things that the Father is putting his spirit on. His Father is letting Satan do his bidding, but all of this is orchestrated from the Holy Father. He's orchestrating this thing. Why? Because he's ready to implement his new world order. With Christ on top, 144,000, 24 elders, whole body of the nation of Israel. He is ready to implement his new world order. So that is why you see these wicked men, these wicked higher up, who is trying to speed things up quite a bit. They want to speed it up. They know he's coming. So that is why they're creating all these weapons of mass destruction. Remember, best to believe, these weapons of mass destruction the people of the world today are building, they're not for each other. They're for the Holy Father and his Son. That's what they're for. That is why we read, as was the 15th chapter, they're laughing about how the men are creating weapons of destruction, yet Father and Christ, they're sitting back laughing about all the weapons they are creating. They're creating because they prepare for war against them. That is why I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a breakdown on some songs on my favorite band called Muse, and in that there's a song called Algorithm. And that song called Algorithm, he's literally singing how they're going to fight against their own creator. Make sense? I'm going to break down some Muse songs for you guys. I like Muse. Went to their concert. Great band. Great music to listen to while in the truth. And they talk about a lot of true things, specifically related to the Bible. I would recommend Israel to highly listen to it. Don't be discouraged just because they're Edomites. That okay, we won't have to listen. No. Really open your minds and fully listen to these people's mind of what their message are. You will start to see and understand what's really going on. But read it again. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. Ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So Christ is talking to his disciples that you shall be hated for my name's sake. And that's why the disciples all brutally was murdered. But he's also talking about certain men in the future. Men who will be teaching. Men who will be following the Father's ways. We're going to be afflicted. All of us will be going through an affliction. There will be a time where they're going to outrule the Bible, which already happened in California. They banned the Bible in California. But there'll be times where certain men like me and other brothers who are openly teaching this Bible, there'll be a time where our lives will be fully on the line. And this is where he said in Revelation 21st chapter, he doesn't deal with cowards. No cowards. If you want to be a coward, if you open here and you know the Bible, and you can break it down like the way I can do, and you out there teaching, continuously doing it. Don't be discouraged. The Father, if it's your time, it's your time. But see, you will have certain men who will be like a Jonah who will run away from it because they're scared. The Bible says he doesn't deal with cowards. Those who are cowards shall see the second lake, the second death. You're a coward, you're not going to see the kingdom of heaven. So if you're out here and you know the works of the Most High, as a black man, as an Israelite man, you better believe you open your darn mouth. Because the spiritual life is more important than what we have in the physical. What we have right here is just flesh and bones. It will soon later decay. But that spirit will forever remain. Alright? Let me read y'all quote a little bit more. Then I'm going to close out. This was just a simple video. This is just a simple video I wanted to make. It's been on my mind for a while. But these people practice all types of wickedness. And they and they're so good at pushing their message. That is why one of Satan's favorite characteristics is to be lascivious, is to be covert, is to be subtle. It's the same thing that happened to Eve. Satan deceived Eve in a subtle way. He's very subtle. He may come off as a nice or caring guy, but in his heart, he's a ravenous wolf. He's looking for war. That's what the book of Psalms was also talking about, right? It also talked about that. His words is smoother than butter, but war is always on his heart. And that's how Israel had consistently fallen from the Gentiles, because you have Gentiles who come and miss in the nation of Israel, trying to speak all these good words, but in their heart they want to destroy you. It's the same thing that happened with all those Haitians when they got killed. They did a mass suicide under a guy who was under the supervision of Jim Jones, a white man who said he had like 2, 3, 4% black in him. And he tried to reconcile and try to be like one of us, and he got all like a huge number of black folks committing suicide. And it's funny that Jim Jones's body's still not around. And then you got the Nation of Islam, who started from a man named Fareed Muhammad, right? And what they do is to get blacks, young black men who are locked up in prison, to push that satanic agenda, the satanic philosophy of Islam onto the nation of Israel, onto the black man. And not only that, to get them to practice Scientology. You have to understand that Nation of Islam that you see today is not the real true Islam. Even then, Islam is a false religion. But if you look at the Nation of Islam, they practice Scientology because they say they believe that they are the gods within themselves. That is Scientology by P. Hubbard. That is Scientology, folks. They practice it. They practice all types of witchcraft into their congregations. This thing is serious, folks. They all these little movements, these social movements, all it is confusion. All it is to bring forth confusion and continue to push a satanic agenda. That's all it is. Don't fall for any of these groups, man. Don't fall for it. Let's go to Psalms 109. Here's Psalms 109. Verse 5. Psalms 109 and 5. And they have awarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his day be few, and let another take his offense. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. This is mostly talking about cry for help. In Israel, for the longest time, we've experienced those things that you see today. There's a lot of black men. If you don't know the statistics, there's more black men who don't have a child than men who do. 51% of black men don't even have a child. 49% do. Do you see how the Bible really correlates with everything? Yeah, there's numbers paid to an important role and everything. It does to some degree. But every little small detail in the public, every little small detail, you can trace it back to the Bible, to its origins. And these people, this 30 for 30 thing you see going on, which is 33 Freemasonic order, 3 plus 0, and again another 3 plus 0, 33. It's obvious. Only those who manage to make the 30 for 30 are the ones who are fully initiated as a 33rd degree member. Alright? Let me see if I can continue watching this video.
Oh, it was bad enough when his mom and I couldn't find him for 5 days. That was, which sometimes was the case. The cell phone didn't work. Where is he? You can't find him. And all of a sudden, 5 days later, you've hired a private eye, you've done everything you can, and he'll show up. And it's just, it's a very, very difficult experience in life for anybody. And I can sympathize with anybody that's had, really sympathize with anybody that's had that kind of circumstance to live under or live with.
Ashley, better known in the WWE world as Charlotte, we had a fantastic conversation, and I told her in the film, you say your proudest moment of your career was when she won that title, and she was very emotional about it. How did I know you were watching? How are you feeling at home when you saw her talking about you?
Look, folks, y'all don't believe me that as a man, what woman is shaped like this? Look, there's no hips. Look at the stomach. You don't think this is a man? You don't think this is a man? This is obviously a man, folks. You don't believe this crap? Look, what woman has this shape? You have to be crazy to not to think that this is not a man. Well, come on, let's keep listening.
I was crying.
Why?
I was so happy for her. Because she overcame so much with the, as my whole family did with the death of her brother. She hadn't even thought about wrestling until 2012, and of course he passed in 2013. So it was incredibly hard for the whole family. But they argued like cats and dogs every day of their life, but they were extremely close, and it destroyed all of us. But for her, it was that she was carrying on something that he wanted to be more than anything in the world, and that was a professional wrestler. And that's the motivating fact and the reason, in my opinion, that's where she is today. It's not because of me pushing her. She just wanted to be. She wanted to make him proud.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That video. But I want y'all to look it up. March 20. Here it is, see? March 29th, 2013 is when his son died. Bam. Good Friday. It was a Good Friday for that day to kill his own son. Good Friday. You have to be you have to really, really be, how can I put it? You have to be really, really, really so bent on making success so bad that you're willing to sacrifice your own family member to make it. You have to be really, really hell bent on making it so far, knowing that you can't take that money with you to your grave. That they have to be something. The lack of a righteous spirit that's in this world is so gone. It is so gone. And Satan has done a magnificent job. He has done a magnificent job, right, folks? In deceiving the masses. Let me see if I can fix this. He has done a very good job. This is the times we're living in. These are the very, very tough times that we're living in. I'm going to read 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, and then we'll go. I don't know how long this video has been going. But I'm going to go to 2 Timothy. You have to be really... I can't fathom me ever sacrificing. I just don't picture that. Like, there has to be... What is running through these people's minds when they go through it? What was running through Jennifer Hudson's mind when she sacrificed her own family, her whole damn family? What was running through her mind when she did that? I don't know what's going on in these people's minds when they've been offered, if you want to make this, if you want to make all this money, if you want to make this fame, you have to do this bidding. It's a choice. There's no punishment if you don't accept it. You just won't get the fame and a full fortune. But there's something like I can't fathom. Why would an individual want to do that? I still today, you may say, well, bro, you're pretty wise and all that, but I only know so much to the point where I can't explain that. I cannot explain that this misfortune of somebody sacrificing their own loved ones to get ahead. Hold on, I gotta find 2 Timothy. I can't find it. Here it is. Here's 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. You see that all over through celebrities. Talking about, wine, the money I make, the houses I got. You see that all the time with these occult members. And how, for some odd strange reason, some of these members have a tie to the Church of Satan. Even though they tell you they're Christian, they have a tie to the Church of Satan. Right? It's the most strangest thing. That they say they're Christians, but they follow the Church of Satan. Hold on. It's the most strangest thing. Alright? Covetous, boasters. We all know that was going on in the black community. Proud. Just look at us. Look at the people today who have pride for no reason. Even when they know they're wrong, they would still try to double down their pride. Blasphemers. Oh, the Most High is a spook in the sky. Disobedient to parents. You're seeing that today. Kids are out of control. They're threatening their parents, saying, I'm going to kill them. Kids are killing their damn parents now. Cursing their parents out. Unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers. And that's one right there. Truce breakers. And that's what is prophesied, that many people will break a truce. An agreement that two parties have made. Made a truce and they'll keep breaking it. False accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. What did Christ say? You shall be hated for my name's sake. Those who are true believers, you should be hated for my sake. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. You have many people who perceive themselves of God-fearing men and women, but at the same time, they deny the righteous power that he can do. And who's the best example? Christians. Best example. They don't believe, they say they're Christians, but they deny a lot of the things that the Father can do, or the Father does accept. And then like, oh no, well, I don't believe in that. I challenge every brother and sister. Watch some of these TV shows you watch on a daily basis. Watch them. And I want y'all to do your homework. I want y'all to break down a lot of these TV shows, a lot of these movies, a lot of these sitcoms, whatever you feast your eyes on. Break it down with this. And I want you to show you how openly rebellion the world has become. Just watch it. Watch it. With your all-seeing eye, with your open eye, I want y'all to do that homework. And I want you to study the things that's going on in this world. And I want y'all to break down everything they go against. And they do it with such pride and lack of care for the Father, lack of respect for the Creator. But I'm going to call this the end of the video. I know it's been a while. But this is the nice little different style of take I like my video. I actually like this way, where I watch a video or break down videos, get y'all to understand some things, And it's it's a thing that I do in my private time a lot, But you have to understand, repetition is a great form of art that a lot of us have got to learn how to do. Repetition, repetition, and repetition. You do it over and over and over again, you're going to get used to it. And then where you start to really, really dissect things from righteous, from wicked. Spiritual matter. That's 1 Corinthians 2. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. You guys take care. Shalom and peace in the nation of Israel.